What's going on, everybody? It's Mike. Yeah, I sound a little more cheerful today. For those of you all who actually watched the first video in my series, how to make money, I was dead tired of that first video. I was watching it back, and I told my wife, I was like, I don't even know if I should actually put that up on YouTube. I was so out of it, but I put it up anyway. Hopefully, you still enjoyed it and you still got some benefit from it. Um, this is actually going to be the first video where we're actually going to start getting into the principles behind actually generating money for yourself. So before we talk about how you actually make money, we're going to start off by discussing what money is. I think that's fundamentally important before you begin attempting to make money, large sums of money or small amounts of money. You need to know exactly what money is. And so what is money? Well, if we look at the actual definition of money, money is just a medium of exchange for goods and services, and it's used to measure the value of a product or a service on the market. Okay, so we know we use different types of money. We use paper money, we use coins. Many different forms of money have been used in the past, but money is just a medium of exchange. Now, with that being said, I'm going to tell you something that I always say in one of the first seminars I do whenever I begin a class, which is the fundamentals of money. Money is not real. And before you start talking about making money, especially becoming um, financially independent, it is vitally important that you understand that fact that money is not real. Now, why do I say that? I know some of you probably scratching your head wondering, like, what is this guy talking about? Money is not real. I got a couple dollars in my pocket right here. I can touch it, I can feel it. And so I know you're probably wondering, what do I mean? Why do I say that money is not real? Okay, let's look at it like this. Money is not real because it has no intrinsic or natural value. Um, Honestly, there's no difference between a $1 bill and a $100 bill other than maybe the weight of the paper, maybe, and the picture of the person that's on it. It's still just paper with a number and a picture on it. That paper or that coin on its own, it has no real value. Only the people who use that money can put value to it. That money is only a representation of something that does have a value. Does that make sense? All right, let's look at it another way. You look in the mirror. Now, when you look in the mirror, the person that you see in the mirror is not actually you. It's a reflection or a representation of you. Same thing is true if you were to, God forbid, get in some legal trouble and need to get an attorney. That attorney is not you, but that attorney represents you. So money is the same way. Money is not real, doesn't have a real value. It only represents a value. So money is essentially just an idea, value, an idea. Now, before we start breaking down exactly why and how money is an idea and how we start making it, think about what an idea is. By definition, an idea is a mental representation of something. Now, if we take that definition and we apply it to money, then we look at money as a representation of something intangible, a value you can't touch, taste, smell, or see. Value, it happens in your mind, right? So money is a representation of something that's intangible through the use of something that is tangible. That's usually attached to a number. Matter of fact, it's always attached to a number. And the tangible part of that is the paper, the coin, whatever you touch, and they're always attached to a number. Now why is that? Well, value is abstract, it's theoretical, and it varies from person to person. What I think is valuable, you may not think valuable. What you think valuable, I may not think is valuable. And vice versa, and so goes with everybody. What I may be willing to pay for a product, you may not be think is worth that. So values will vary from person to person. Numbers, on the other hand, are concrete. They're constant. They don't change. They're universal, as a matter of fact. For example, if I say five, five represents five, no matter how it's pronounced. If you pronounce it five, cinco, sank, woo, however you say the number five in any language, it still represents five. For example, now let's apply that to, not example, but let's just apply that value concept to an actual product. Okay, let's say let's use a cell phone as an example. All right, now I come to you and I say, hey, this is a product that I designed. This is a cell phone, and I say this cell phone is worth, the value of this phone is $500. The price is $500, and you decide, I kind of like that phone and I want it, and I think it's worth $500. Then the value of that phone for you would truly be $500. And what would you do? Well, more than likely you would actually pay that $500 to receive that cell phone. The value was worth it. But if I come to you and I say, hey, this cell phone is worth $1,000 and the price is $1,000. Now you may not think it. Whether the phone is actually worth $1,000 or not, you may not value it that much. You may not be willing to pay $1,000 for a phone or for anything else. So the price doesn't really matter at this point. What we're talking about is value. So when you're talking about money, it has to be value had to be tied to something that was constant, so it could be represented. Okay. So what in the world am I talking about? Why is all that important? Why do we have to go through all that history about money and value and da 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 da? Well, it's important because in order for you to understand how you actually generate money, again, you have to know what money is. Money isn't real, it's an idea. Okay? So even if you don't remember anything else I just said or the breakdown about, what's tangible and what's not, if you don't remember, that's fine. But simply remember that money is not real. Money is just an idea, and it simply represents a value. With that said, how then do you go about actually generating money? Well, what I want you to do right now is I want you to look around. Wherever you are, just stop, look around wherever you're at right now. If you're on a bus, a train, wherever, it doesn't matter. Look around. What do you see? Take stock of everything you see around you. Again, for simplicity, I'm going to use my cell phone. Okay. Everything around you is nothing more than an idea. Everything. It doesn't matter if you looked at a chair, a computer screen, a tripod, or a cell phone. All right? It's all just an idea. It's an idea that you or someone else paid money for in order to be able to use and get the benefits from that particular idea. For example, this cell phone was somebody's idea. The OtterBox case on it was somebody else's idea. This tie was somebody's idea. This shirt was somebody's idea. The dry eraser board was somebody's idea. The lights around me, which probably aren't that great, so I probably have shadows on my face right now. But anyway, the lights were somebody's idea. So getting back to that question, how do you generate money? Well, imagine if the things that you looked around and saw, that whatever you chose, imagine if that was your idea. What if this phone was your idea? What if this OtterBox was your idea? What if the eraser board was your idea? Remember, money is just an idea. Right? So what if those things were actually your ideas? How many of those things you think somebody sold. How many outer box cases do you think the person who designed this has sold? What about cell phone? Excuse me, I got the hiccups for some reason. So if I keep jerking, I got the hiccups. Sorry. But how many do you think they've sold? How many dry eraser boards do you think whoever came up with that idea has sold? 100? 1,000? A few million? Maybe even some billions, maybe? Again, what if that was your idea? Everything around you is simply an idea. So getting back to the question, how do you generate money? Well, it's pretty simple. You use an idea to attract an idea. That makes sense? You use an idea to attract an idea. And it's really that simple. You start with an idea that has or will at some point have value on the market that people would be willing to pay for. Now, how do you know that something has or will have value? At this point in our discussion about making money, that's not really relevant. We'll get to that later because your customers and your potential customers are actually going to determine the value of something and whether or not it has value. But we'll talk about that later. But for right now, again, just remember, you just need an IV. You need an idea with value. Once you have an idea with value, you've taken the first step to financial independence, to being able to generate your own money. All right. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope I was kind of clear. I hope I was much more energetic this time. I hope you got to really see a little bit of my personality. I hope I didn't ramble too much, and I hope you really, really, really got the sense of what I was saying. If not, please watch the video again until you do get an understanding of it. Oh, in the next video, what we're going to talk about is we're going to go from an idea and talk about how you actually turn an idea into a product or a service that can then be sold on the market, okay? So thank y'all again for checking out my video. Please go to the website. That's www.15secondadvantage.com. There you can sign up for my mailing list where my upcoming book, The 15-Second Advantage, Powered by Design. Thanks again for checking me out, and I'll see you all next video. Peace.